I will start my reading practice from the book Clear Thinking. Of course, I would be willing to manage people only up to a point. If doing that became too time consuming, I might have to reverse the order. That leads us to the next step, adding quantities. As your criteria battle one another, you will find quantities make a difference. Add them to each criteria as they battle. Suppose I find that I am willing to spend 5 to 10 additional hours per week managing people or being hands on. So long as my ROI is at least 15% per year. If I would have to invest 10 plus hours per week, my ROI would have to be at least 20% per year. And if I would have to invest 20 plus hours per week, it would no longer be worth it to me, regardless of anticipated return, because of the opportunity cost of that time. When you have finished ordering those two criteria, go to the next pair. Move from top to bottom. Make your criteria battle one another for priority and add the quantities that matter to you along the way. When people do this exercise, they often look at a pair of criteria and think, I don't necessarily have to choose between these two. Make them battle anyway. The point is not really to compare them, it is to find out which one is more important. Maybe in real life, you can satisfy both criteria. Maybe, for instance, you can get a high ROI while investing in a socially responsible company, or you can get in shape while still eating out 3 times a week, or you can buy a house in a great location that fits your budget. But often, when we actually start pursuing an option, we find that we have to rank one criteria above another, even if only slightly. Most of the time, making your criteria battle is about calibrating shades of gray. It's a mental exercise that takes you out of reactive mode and moves you toward deliberative thinking. Assigning quantitative values to your criteria often helps at this point. When you start comparing things and thinking how much you will pay for them and whether in a currency of time, money, collective brain power, you gain clarity about what matters most to you and what doesn't. You are forced to think in terms of benefits and risk, and you start to see things you didn't see before. Previously invisible costs become visible. For all of these reasons, making your criteria battle moves you toward objectivity and accuracy and helps reveal what you think is most important. Once you have settled on your criteria and their order of importance, it is time to apply them to the options. Doing to Doing so requires that you have information about those options and option that meets two conditions: it's relevant and it's accurate. Most information is irrelevant. When it comes to getting information that's relevant to the decision, remember this: the targeting principle. Know what you are looking for before you start sorting through the data. If you don't know what you are looking for, you are unlikely to find it, just as you are unlikely to hit the target if you don't know what you are aiming at. When you don't know what's important, you miss things that are relevant and spend a lot of time on things that are irrelevant. Most information is irrelevant. Knowing what to ignore, separating the signal from the noise, is the key to not wasting valuable time. Think, for example, of investment decisions. The best investors know which variables probabilistically govern the outcomes, and they pay attention to those. They don't ignore everything else, but focusing primarily on those variables allows them to filter massive amounts of information very quickly. People who can quickly distinguish what matters from what doesn't gain a huge advantage in a world where the flow of information never stops. Knowing when to ignore allows you to focus on what matters. Follow the example of the best investors and know the variables that matter for evaluating the options. before you start sorting through information, getting accurate information from the source. When it comes to getting information that is accurate, there are two principles you should know: the high five principle and the high X principle. The first will help you find the best intel possible from within any given situation, and the second will help you find the best intel possible from outside of it. The high five principle: get high fidelity information that is close to the source and unfiltered by other people's biases and interests. The quality of your decisions is directly related to the quality of your thoughts. The quality of your thoughts is directly related to the quality of your information. Many people treat all sources of information as if they are equally valid. They are not. While you might getting everyone's opinion, that doesn't mean each opinion should be equally weighted or considered. A lot of the information we consume is in the form of highlights, summaries, or distillations. It is the illusion of knowledge. We learn the answer but can't show our work. Consider what happens when you consult a nutritionist. They take their years of experience and knowledge and compress it into a list of foods to eat and behaviors to implement. If you just want the answer, they will tell you what to eat and how much. This is an abstraction. It's like you are back in 6th grade math class copying answers from the person beside you. Sure, you got the right answer, but you don't know why it is the answer. You lack understanding, and information without understanding is dangerous. It's natural to think these abstractions will save us time and improve our decision making, but in many cases they don't. Reading a summary might be faster than reading a full document, but it misses a lot of details that were not relevant to the person summarizing the information, but that might be relevant to you. You end up saving time at the cost of missing important information. Skimming inadvertently creates blind spots. Thank you. That's it for the day.